You ain't been blue. No, no, no. You ain't been blue till you've had that moon indigo, that feeling goes stealing down to my shoes. While I sit and sigh, go long, go those blues. I always get that mood indigo since my baby said goodbye. In the evening when lights are low, I'm so lonesome I could cry. 'Cause there's nobody who cares for me. I'm just a soul who's as blue as can be. I get that mood indigo. I could lay me down and die. Cause there's nobody who cares for me. I'm just a soul who is blue as can be. When I get that mood indigo, I could lay me down and die. You ain't been blue. No, no, no. There we go. That's part 6 of my musical rainbow, and this week's colour is indigo. And that was the most depressing song, not only in the musical rainbow that I've done, but in the whole 160 songs on my YouTube channel. That one takes the biscuit. It's a song that was co-written and first performed by Duke Ellington way back in 1930. And the Duke, I think, collaborated with Ella Fitzgerald, who did the vocals on one of the earlier versions. But it has been covered by a lot of people. The lovely Doris Day did a nice version. Frank Sinatra did a version. To me, the best arrangement is the one by Nina Simone. She's an incredible singer, and she does this song so well. So there we go. It serves a purpose, this song, because it's a song about indigo, and that's the next colour on the rainbow. And it's quite an interesting colour because it's a very specific type of colour, because until I started rehearsing this song, I wasn't entirely sure what indigo was. I thought it was a purple, more towards the red side. But when I've kind of looked at it and looked into it, it seems to be like a really deep shade of purpley blue. So it's not quite purple, it's like purpley blue. So I'm not quite sure, and there's nobody's quite sure how indigo, I should say, arrived on the colour spectrum. The theories are abound, and one of the theories is this: that when Sir Isaac Newton defined the colour spectrum, there were 7 chunks, there were 7 blocks of colour. and one of those was indigo, and it seems a little bit arbitrary why anybody would pick colours and separate them, and particularly to include indigo. And obviously the 360 degrees of the colour spectrum, you could slice it very minutely and specifically, but to chunk it into 7 pieces, it's a bit of a mystery as to why indigo was included. Because in the last video we talked about blue, and we said in some cultures and languages that different, for instance Russian, sky blue is a colour in its own right, and then the darker shades are all a different colour. And I incorrectly said last week that in English language and in British culture, we had just blue. And it seems that I was wrong, because indigo is a subgroup of blue, but in the colour spectrum, as Sir Isaac defined it, it was a colour in its own right. Now, Sir Isaac bought some prisms in the 17th century, and saw how the light was diffused, and therefore brought about this colour spectrum with 7 parts to it, 7 Trivial Pursuit type wedges that went into it. And the theories are abound, and one of them is that at that time the indigo trade, the mineral that was mined in India, was a really fashionable colour, because it, like in nature, the blues are not that common. So when they found this mineral that was mined, it was hot property. It was trending in the 17th century. So that was around about the time that Sir Isaac came up with the colour spectrum, and it's thought that because it was so popular and it was so fashionable at that time, that might have been the reason why it was included. But I guess we'll never know. But that's basically indigo. It seems to be a nice deep blue, a purpley blue, but still it seems really rich. I don't think I possess anything indigo, but this is the dark blue, the kind of dressing gown that I'm wearing. But if you've got any thoughts about the colour, or any theories, please feel free. If there's any significances, or are there any meanings to the colour, then please feel free to pop a comment down below, and that will be quite an interesting thing to read, because it's a colour I know next to nothing about, indigo. So there we go. Hopefully you've enjoyed the song, even though it is thoroughly depressing, and hopefully you've enjoyed listening to me talking about the colour indigo. So I think that's about it now. I'm going to go and watch the second half of Barcelona versus Benfica. So I'll end the video here. So all that remains for me to say is thank you very much for watching, and hopefully you'll join me next time. So goodbye for now.